It's Wednesday, August 24, 2022. Let me start out by saying this. What a train wreck we are watching take place with regards to this economy. Now, the president just canceled $10,000 in federal student loan debt for most borrowers. $20,000 on Pell Grants. That's financial aid. Who do you think is paying for all of this? Now, this video isn't about being political. It's just about calling it the way I see it. We are throwing money around like it is candy. This is going to be added to the U.S. debt, and I think it sends a very, very bad message out there. Now, what about the people who had to work hard, take on the side hustles, the part-time jobs, grind it out, pay for their college tuition? How do those people feel today? And how do you feel knowing that you are now $2,085 on the hook to pay for all this? It's unbelievable what is going on, and the danger that is taking place with all this money printing, this debt creation, the borrowing. Unbelievable. Unbelievable what is going on. This is going to cost the U.S. between $300 and $980 billion. This is a lot of money. A lot of money. A time where this country continues to spend more money than it is taking in. A time where we're sending all this money over to Eastern Europe. The printing presses are working overtime at this point. But please comment down below. How do you feel about this now that you're on the hook for this debt? Almost $2,100 per taxpayer on the hook for this. This money has got to be paid. It's not going to just disappear. Their debt will disappear, creating more debt for you and I. It's absolutely repulsive and disgusting what is happening to the average taxpayer in America today. So while the average taxpayer continues to be taken advantage of, the average U.S. household pays 47% more for electricity than a year ago. How much has your electricity bill gone up? I can tell you out here in the desert, as we're running our air conditioning units 24 hours a day, the price of electricity is skyrocketing. Now, I know people will say, don't be dramatic. I'm being dramatic. I'm trying to get views. I'm just calling it the way I see it. I'm just thinking out loud here, and I'm just reporting the news. Nothing dramatic about it. But I will tell you, I'm a very passionate person, and to see the damage that is taking place economically right here in America is sad. It really is. I've never seen anything like this in my lifetime. At least 20 million households. This is 1 in 6 households in America are behind on their power bills. Do you remember a time where 20 million people could not pay their electricity bill in America? 1 in 6 households. Do you ever remember a time this bad? People are maxed out on credit cards. They've depleted their savings. Wage gains have been wiped out by inflation. And they're going to have a hard time catching up. And it's only going to get worse. And that is a fact. All you have to do is read the data, connect the dots. You know as well as I do, if you're honest with yourself, this is going to get much, much worse. And if the government doesn't start handing checks out to everybody, people aren't going to have any electricity, and people are going to freeze to death this winter when they can't heat their homes. This is a mess unlike we have ever seen in our lifetimes. Your grandparents, your parents, your great-grandparents, nobody's ever seen anything like this. 72% of recent home buyers have regrets about their purchases as market cools. I cannot stress this enough. Exercise patience, ladies and gentlemen. We are in a chess match. So many people are so out of control, reckless, got to have it today, instant satisfaction, no self-control, impatient. This is a time where you must be exercising patience. 30% said that they spent too much money on the house that they bought. What a shock. 26% indicate they bought too quickly. What a shock. All that FOMO. 31% paid over asking price. 36% made an offer on a home without seeing it in person. 41% made 5 offers or more on a house. 80% made more than one offer. This is the twilight zone. This is absolutely out of control, ladies and gentlemen. Out of control. And these people are going to pay an enormous price when they begin to watch the equity in these homes vanish, vaporize, disappear. And it's about to happen. It's beginning to happen right now. I cannot repeat this message enough. Do not buy a house today. That is not financial advice. But if you were a family member of mine, if you were a good friend of mine, and you asked me my opinion, my advice, I would say absolutely not. If you're in an escrow right now and you haven't removed contingencies and you can get out, I would say get out right now. Now, you may be in a situation where you have to move, where it makes sense for you. I understand that. But if you can hold out 6 to 12 months, I think you're going to be very happy that you did. Wolfstreet.com, sales of new houses collapse in the West by 50%. Inventories and supplies spike to high heaven. This on Wolfstreet.com. Listen to this data, and I want you to all listen to it very, very carefully. New home sales plunged 12.6% in July from June, down 30% in July compared to a year ago. We break this down into regions. Northeast is down 37% in new home sales. West Coast, down 50% with new home sales. Midwest, down 23%. In the South, 21%. New home inventory. They're telling us there's no inventory. No inventory. The market can't crash. There's just no inventory. Midwest, inventory is up 59%. In the South, inventory up 27%. In the West, inventory up 29%. Northeast, unchanged. The hedge. U.S. pending home sales are down most since 2011 year over year. Pending home sales drop 1% month over month. This is the eighth monthly drop in the past 9 months, leaving sales down 22.5% for pending home sales. The consequence of missing mortgage payment are more than just a lower credit score. This was on CNBC. This is going to be another problem for people as they're losing their cars, getting cars repossessed, their credit's going to be destroyed. People are going into foreclosure. They're missing house payments right now. This is going to be a big problem. And what it's going to do, it's going to wreck your credit. And so as we head into a depression, people behind on their utility bills, behind on their car payments, behind on their mortgage payments, rent payments, their credit is going to be destroyed. And it's going to be destroyed at the worst possible time. And remember, if you're too late, well, that lender is just going to foreclose and take your house. And millions of people are going to be decimated every which way you can think of, and including their credit scores. And that means when you're evicted and you have no credit, where do you go? This is why I say you've got to start thinking about an emergency plan right now, getting in a mindset, in survival mode. What are you going to do if your spouse loses a job? What if you lose a job? Can you survive 6 months? Can you pay the mortgage for 6 months? Do you have capital put away? Do you have reserves? Do you have assets? The hedge. U.S. strategic petroleum reserves fall to 35-year low. Most of you probably heard about this a couple days ago. I have to bring this up because this is so dangerous, so extremely dangerous for our country. And it's going to be extremely expensive to replenish these reserves. And you want to know why you might be paying 80 cents or $1 less for a gallon of gas? Well, because we are going in and exhausting our strategic petroleum reserves. And we are going to pay a very, very serious price here when they have to be replenished. And heaven forbid we get into some serious global problems and we need those reserves, we won't have them. Think about what is happening right now. We've never seen anything like this. Another article from The Hedge today, the numbers don't lie. The Fed won't win this inflation fight. I was saying here, according to John Taylor, who's an economist, they would need to go to 9.69%, almost 9.7% to stop inflation. 3 or 4% interest rates won't stop the inflation freight train, ladies and gentlemen. It will pop the bubble of this economic bubble that we have, this economy that was built on easy money. If we use the CPI formula from the 1970s, Rates would need to be over 17%, probably closer to 20% in order to stop inflation. So everything is so manipulated. All the books are cooked. Nobody's even telling you what the real inflation numbers are, what the real unemployment numbers are, what the real jobless claim numbers are. Nobody's telling you. We don't really even know what the real foreclosure numbers are. Nobody's telling us how many people are having their cars repossessed. I mean, so much news is just being silenced so that people aren't scared. And when people believe everything's going to be okay, but you know, the central banks are going to fix everything, so you know, just hang in there, everything's going to be okay, just keep buying stuff, everything's going to turn around. They're putting you in very, very grave risk. Okay, they're putting you in danger. And just to wrap up this video, year to date, I was looking at some of the retail numbers here. If you look at Kohl's, their stock is down 40% year to date. The Gap down 40% year to date. Best Buy down 23.6% year to date. Nordstrom's down 22%. It's absolutely mind-boggling. Watching the markets today, which were pretty much flat, when they should have really collapsed today. You talk about inflationary. We're talking $300 to $980 billion more added to the U.S. debt with this college tuition bailout, this helicopter money that is going to be borrowed and printed and slapped onto you to pay. You look at what's happening to retail. You look at the new home builders. You look at airlines. Why in the world are these markets not collapsing? The 10-year bond yield today at 3.1%, a 30-year fixed mortgage rate sitting at 5.87%. I predict it will be going over 6% shortly. This is going to be detrimental and have a huge negative impact on housing, and it's already doing that. And when we break 6 and go to 7, we're going to see everything unwind. We're going to see things really, really break apart. But isn't it amazing how they can keep everything together? And we had the president come out today and talk about this bailout, and markets actually liked it and came back. And this is so, this is what I don't understand. Maybe you can comment down below and explain this to me. How is all this inflation good for these markets? How is printing and borrowing another $300 to $980 billion going to be good for these markets? And why didn't we see gold explode today? It's unbelievable how they're suppressing certain things and elevating the market. But it's just absolutely amazing. Right is left, down is up, red is blue. It's incredible what we're watching take place. Nothing is real at this point. And this is why I truly believe that we are going to watch and live through the biggest financial collapse in world history. This is going to come to an end, and it is coming to an end right now. This economy has already collapsed. Most of you already know that. And the worst it gets, more and more people are going to be in big trouble, and more people are going to get wiped out. And this is why we'll see more tent cities, more people living on the streets, more people dependent on a bailout, more people dependent on the system coming to pay off their debt. What's next? Now that we're paying off college tuition debt, how about, well, we've already repoed over 2.2 million cars this year and climbing, so maybe that'll be next. Maybe they'll come and they'll make your car payment for you. They'll take care of your car bills for you. And then it'll be credit card debt. So we'll go from auto debt to credit card debt, and then maybe at some point the system will pay off your house. I mean, this is unbelievable. So let's just give everybody a couple $100,000 and a Lambo and call it a day. Pay off your college tuition, give you a couple $100,000, a Lambo, and maybe even a free house. Is this where it's all going? I have no idea, but it's getting hot out here. I'm going to call it a day. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Give this video a thumbs up, share it, make sure you subscribe. God bless you all, and I look forward to speaking with all of you very, very soon.